everyone. Okay, so I did not realize it's been 4 weeks. I have not realized at all. Summer Dreams. We're going to do this collection. So let me, oh gosh, you guys, where do I even begin? So it has been a whirlwind again, of course, right? But I'm sorry, I'm out of breath. I'll tell you about that too. So I've been doing all my doctor's appointments, doing all that stuff, and it takes a toll. Well, about 2 weeks ago, my vision got fuzzy. It got really fuzzy, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. Just overnight kind of thing. And then I started getting a little thirsty, and like so thirsty I couldn't quench anything. I couldn't quench my thirst, and so I was like, okay. And then I started getting shaky, and I'm like, okay, so what in the world is happening here? And then I was like, you know what, I'm suspecting, because I was pre-diabetic. And then when we found out, you know, that I may have cancer, I went off the rails and I started eating everything in sight. And so, and I mean, we're talking like got off organic, got off all the organic food. And this is the week that Kit Kat died. I prefer not to talk about it, so we're just gonna, I'll just tell you about my health problems. So, I'm out of breath, and then I really have a lot of brain fog right now. So I just did some unboxings, and I'm like, can't even get my words right. So sorry, guys. So just bear with me. It's a normal video, basically. And so they I called up my doctor, and because I lost my diabetic doctor a while ago because he retired, so I haven't been under anyone's care. And well, when I went off the so what I was telling about, I went off the rails. Well, I mean, we're talking like I was already pre-diabetic, and I was going to Crumbles every week and getting new cookies. Well, the last straw was the fact that usually I get 4, and then, but Tim and I share half of them. And so I always tell him, I'm taking you with me. If I'm going, I'm taking you with me. And so he's like, okay. So my little enabler. And so the last straw was that I bought a 6 box. I bought 6 because there was 5 new flavors. So we ended up doling them out. I told Tim just because his favorite is the chocolate chip. And I had already, you know, previously the week, probably a few days before, I had some. So I had the chocolate chip. I didn't want any more. So I had 5 that we cut in half, and I came home. He was at work. He's been at work, you guys, more than he's been home. So, sorry, the scanner's on. I forgot to turn it down. So he, sorry, this is going to be bad because it just sucks health-wise. Is that blurry? There we go. Maybe if I just stop. And so I ate them. Well, then it took 2 days. It took 2 days because I was feeling shaky, and I was like, you know, I'm thinking that I think my body has finally caught up to me as far as all the bad foods. So, but it took me 2 days to finish them, and then the last one I took 1 bite, and I was like done. I was like, no, I can't do this. And then the next day after that, Tim was finally home, and we went grocery shopping. But what ended up happening is that I had a flare-up of my fibro, and for me, my fibro is different. I have nerves that flare up. My nerves end up flaring up. So my hands, I couldn't grip anything. I couldn't even touch the wheel of the car because I was so flared. And that was like, oh shoot. And then came the blurry vision, and then everything else started coming. And then it was like, oh my goodness, what did I do? Well, I did to myself. Well, I still had all the Trulicity. I still had all that stuff from the doctor. Because I never finished because I lost my doctor. He retired out of the blue. And so I had it in the fridge, and then I had my monitor because I have my, I'll just show you because it's easier. but I have my monitor. And so I put it in, and what do you know? I was like, okay, my sugar shows that I'm in the 400s, and I was like, okay, it's in the 400s, great. So I called the doctor, and I said, hey, I called my primary, and I said, hey, you know, I'm not feeling very well, this is what's happening, I suspect that I'm diabetic. And they're like, okay. So then I took a blood test the next day, and I went and took it, and they're showing, of course, you know, always my kidneys. I never have good luck with my kidneys. They always want to fail, right? And so then I end up taping this because I wanted this one, so I end up taping it. So when you have two parts, just tape it and then cover it, and it's all good again. So then I did my blood test like on Monday, on Tuesday. Got the results. And I said, no, Monday I talked to my doctor. Tuesday I went in and got my blood drawn. Wednesday, you know, you get the portal, right? That portal that tells you what, you know. So you basically, if you look at your portal, you get to find out everything. And I know people have found out they have cancer with that portal before they even can talk to a doctor. So honestly, I think the portal should be released after you talk to your doctor. That is what I think should happen, because when you get these results and you look at them, you start panicking, right? So I don't think they should automatically go to your portal. Jeez. Sorry, my camera got full. Okay, so anyways, the portal, yeah, the portal should not be available until after. So anyway, so I'm looking at the portal results, and I'm like, oh my gosh, everything was like flagged. Everything was flagged. My A1C, all of that stuff was. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, and it says diabetic, and it says everything right. And I'm like, oh man, okay, fine. So then I called the doctor's office. And you know what's cruddy, you guys, is when, you know, honestly, when you get such awful, awful receptionists. Like, you know, you have to get to the doctor through the receptionist, and when they're just awful, you want to change doctors. And I have before. I have with my kids. When I had to deal with that with my kids, I'm like, I am not dealing with that at all. And so I've changed doctors before, but this one I don't want to. But I just wish there was some professionalism nowadays. And now you just have like ghetto girls, and it's just so annoying, and it's so frustrating. And I told her, I said, I got flagged for the diabetes, and I told her all my stuff, and she goes, well, we can get you in like next week. And I told her, I said, I can't wait till next week. They're saying I'm diabetic. And she's like, well, this is Wednesday. She says, well, you can come in on Friday, or do a teleconference on Friday. And I said, fine. So I'm all set for Friday. Well, then what ends up happening is, actually my sugars have been in the 300s. And so, well, then the last straw was that twice during the day, I ended up rolling 400 for my sugar. And I was like, I called the doctor, and I said, and it was, you know, it was like 4 o'clock, and I said, hey, I go, my sugar does not want to go past 400. What should I do? And then she starts going, oh, okay. Let me, well, doctor left for the day. Let me see if we can get a hold of her. So then they start scrambling to talk to the doctor. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, I asked you guys to make sure she saw my labs before she left for the day, and so I guess she didn't. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. So, you know, you ask for things that are just basic, you know, and they can't even do that. And so then they scrambled. They called me back like 10 minutes later and said, hey, the doctor wants you to go to the hospital. Your sugar's too high, and you could go into a seizure. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Of course I'm home alone, right? And it's nothing my husband can do anyway, so it's okay. So it's actually a good thing he's not home. And because, you know, I have my book. And so I was like, okay. And then you know, one of the firewives, she's in the ER. She's an ER nurse, but she doesn't work there anymore, or she's per diem. And so she works in Gilroy. And I'm like, okay, well, and she says, yeah, it's really busy. I said, maybe I'll go tomorrow. She goes, no, your sugar's too high. You need to go now. And I go, okay, fine. So I go, I take my book, and I'm just, you know, I'm just chilling it. And I can't, there's no, it's so busy, there's no room. There's no beds available. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. You know, I'm not anything worried about. It's just that, you know, the doctor said to go in. So, and I don't want to have a seizure at home by myself. And so I'm like, I don't know anything. I'm not playing games, you know. So I'm like, I'll just go. It doesn't cost me anything to go. It's not a big deal. So I went, and then, yeah, it took about 4 hours to get a bed. And they put IV in me. But when they took my blood, they did my blood work and all that stuff. And my sugar was in the 500s. So I wasn't in the 400s. I was in the 500s. So they put 3 liters of IV in me. So I stayed in the hospital for a few hours that day, and it was just like drip, drip, drip. So it was just crazy. But I finished my book, and that's all I can do, you know. So I'm just like, you know, it's just so. But then when I got discharged, they're like, well, you are officially diabetic, so you need to follow up. And I said, okay. And so we have a diabetes center here in our town. And I called them the next day. They looked at my chart, and she goes, okay. She goes, well, we can't get you in soon with our regular doctor, but we can get you in sooner with, that was her caller. We can get you in sooner with a PA, a physician's assistant. And I said, that's fine. That's fine. I don't care. You know, that's fine. She goes, okay, the soonest we have available is July 6th. And I'm like, this is two weeks ago, you guys. And I'm like, I said, you know what? I don't mind traveling, so I will try and find a different, someone who can take me in sooner. She's like, okay. And I'm like, my sugars were in the 500s. I can't get them below 400. I'm like, and this is what you wanted. I'm like, oh, thanks. Thanks for the care. I'm like, oh my gosh. Granted, you know, like 50% of people are diabetic in this world, but you think you would get people in to set them up, you know, more than anything, just to set them up for what they need. And so, well, then I ended up talking to my doctor, and she ended up Zoom calling me, and she says that, she says, I'll just take over your care. And I go, okay. So then she gave me metformin. I'm like at 1,000 milligrams. And so me and Cheyenne we got pedicures here, Cheyenne and I. And so I was like, okay. So then, yeah, so it's been one of those things. So I have my monitor in, I have metformin in my system, I have Trulicity 150, and it's been 2 weeks, and I can't get below 300. So like right now I took it, it's 385. It's fasting in the morning, it's 366. So I'm like, something's not working here. And I am exhausted, you guys. I am exhausted. I can't breathe. I'm like, I can't do anything. I am just so like, oh, frustrated. You guys, I am so frustrated because I am back to being back to square one, being sick, having to lay down, doing all that garbage. And I hate it with a passion, you guys. I have no time to be laying on my butt, my back, my butt, whatever, and doing nothing. I have crafts I want to do. I have fun things I want to do. I have a good life. I don't want to be in bed all day. I don't want to. I don't. So I am so dejected. I am trying not to go into a depression because I have not been able to craft because I can't breathe. I don't have enough time to do it. I don't have, because I'm shaky. I can't breathe because I'm shaky, and it's just, I mean, my sugars are in the 400s, so, and in the 300s, and it's just, it takes a toll, right? So, I'm just like over this. I am so over this crud. I'm so over being sickly all the time. My lungs, you know, asthma, all that stuff. I'm just like, I do want to take care of myself. I do want to do things. What in the holy crud is wrong? Why can't I get a break? Why can't I catch a break? Yes, I did it to myself with the diabetes, with the food. Okay, stupid me. Not doing that again. So I've been very, very careful with what I eat. I've been really good. And it doesn't matter. It really just doesn't matter. And I'm like, man, it just sucks so bad, you guys. It really does. And I'm over it. And then with this metformin, I have leg spasms like you would not believe. And I have hot flashes even more. Even more than what I was doing. Like right now, I'm sweating my butt off, and and it's cold in the house. And I just can't catch a break with that either. So, I am just over this, you guys. I have no clue what to do, honestly. And then now, I asked the doctor for, I asked her for, they called me. They called me and asked me what my sugar was, and I told her at 366 with fasting. And she's like, okay, doc wants you to come in. She wants to see you next week. I go, okay. So she says, you can't go below. And I said, I have only gone to 86 one time. And we have no clue why. We have no clue why that happened. So I am not sure. This is funny because we have a coffee bar, and my husband came home, made me a cup of coffee, but left his gun there. It's just my husband and I don't play with his guns. So, it was just funny to me. Okay, guys, so it was just, he doesn't leave his gun wherever he wants. It was just funny because he was so, ready to see me and make me coffee, and he just left his gun there, and it was hilarious. So, usually he leaves it on the counter, because nobody comes to our house. Nobody comes to our house. We have nobody who visits us. Nobody visits us. We're not those type of people. We have parties, then that's when people can come. Other than that, unless you're invited, people don't come over. I invited a friend over, and I love that, and I'm hoping she does come this week. But nobody just, some people who just show up and go, hey, I just want to say hi. Well, no. We don't have any of that. People who come to our house are only invited people, and I don't invite people often, or at all, pretty much. So, I don't want to put a bra on, and I just want to stay in my uniform, which is my PJs, and I just don't want to entertain people. It's not what I enjoy. And we are going to do a Christmas in, I think, June for quilting. So I will have people over, which I don't mind inviting people over when I want them. But yeah, we don't have people like that. So no problem with, I've told you guys that before, my husband leaves his gun around. We have a gun behind our door, and that's because nobody comes over. So, but if people come over, we put everything away. So it's not a problem. Cute, huh? So yeah, I am so hot, you guys. I am boiling. I am boiling. But yeah. So anyway, so all that to say that I am officially diabetic. I am over it. And yeah, and we have a lot of vacations coming up. We'll be gone. So I was going to do the Bella Boulevard in Wisconsin. I paid for it. I did all that. My mom was making tortillas this day. And I was going to go to Bella, and all my registration, everything is paid for. And then I started looking at flights, and nobody, you guys, goes straight to Milwaukee anymore. Nobody is doing, straight flights, non-stop. Everybody is doing layovers. I'm not doing 6.5 hours for a 3-hour flight. So it's a 3-hour flight from California to Milwaukee. And I'm like, and then the price was okay. It was doable, but not, I'm like, I don't really want to pay that much, but it was doable. But I just can't do that flight. I don't want to do 6.5 hours. So I asked them if I could either, is there a wait list that I can, I don't think they're sold out. And I asked if there's a wait list, or if, you know, what can I do, because I'm not going to be able to go. And they said after the event, we'll send you, of course you pay for shipping. They said, well, which is kind of funny, but, and they said, you pay for shipping, we'll send you all the stuff. And I'm like, cool, okay. So they're going to send me all this stuff and I love Bella, so I'm okay with it. But I'm not going to do any more retreats for a while. My friends and I want to do a retreat, just us, and I'm loving that idea. I'm loving that idea. I really am. And so we'll probably end up doing that. But yeah, I'm over everything right now, you guys. So but anyways, we have vacations coming up, and a lot of those vacations deal with food, and I'm like, no, I can't eat, you know, not really, you know, I can't really, you know, we would, you know, if we're on cruise ships, we always got, you know, all the pastries, we sit on the balcony with our pastries and our coffee, and just, you know, and then we would get lunch in our balcony, and it would be, you know, burgers, chicken wings, hot dogs, Caesar salads, everything, right? And now I'm like, nope, not gonna happen. So, you know, that's a bummer, but, you know, it's the price you pay for being obese and not shutting your mouth when you need to. I hate that. So why can't we just eat whatever the heck we want? But anyway, so yeah. So it sucks. It sucks big time, you guys. Just that whole shakiness. Oh my gosh. I just hate it. And then, there we go. So this is what this is going to look like. No, this is the last picture of them together. My babies. So yeah. So anyway, so that's the deal. That's what's been going on. That's why I haven't been around and stuff. And then I hadn't been really shopping. Then I started shopping again, and then I have those videos that will be up here pretty soon. So I filmed those today also. The last couple days I've been filming, and it's been, you know, and Cheyenne, this is her 3rd week, you guys. This is her 3rd week on patrol. Second week on patrol, and she's doing so good. Yeah, she's doing really good, you guys. So thank you for keeping her in your thoughts. Oh, I know what I did there. Okay. I know what I did. Okay. Anyways. I'm like, why is there 2? Well, because yeah, never mind. It's okay. But yeah, she's kicking butt. Oh, and then for Mother's Day, happy Mother's Day, by the way. If you're if you take care of a plant, take care of a cat, take care of a dog, you're a mother. So happy Mother's Day to everybody. Belated, I'm sure, you know, of course. But for Mother's Day, Cheyenne got me a trip to Disneyland, and so she bought her season pass, you guys. And so so it was so cool. So she bought her season pass, and she paid for the hotel, and she paid for a lot of stuff. We split certain things, but for the most part, it was all her. And it was so nice. And so we had a blast. We had 24 hours, basically. And I was like, okay, I wasn't feeling very well, right? I'm not feeling very well at all. But I'm like, I am not ruining this trip with this kid. I'm not going to. And so I sucked it up, you guys. I sucked it up hardcore, because I'm exhausted. I'm telling you, I have to lay down and sleep about 3 times a day now. And it sucks. And I'm just like so frustrated. I'm so frustrated with life right now. And so I was like, no, you know, and Cheyenne can go all day, right? And she's fit and young. And I'm like, oh gosh. So I told myself, you are not screwing this up. So, you know, get, you know, whatever you have to do. So I did it, you guys. But I'll tell you what, that was the hardest. That was the hardest thing I've done in a while, because oh my gosh, I was exhausted. I was not feeling very well. It just was a lot. It was a lot. And I was just like, nope, you are doing this. You are doing this. And so she never knew. She never knew that I was feeling so bad. I was just like, oh my gosh, you guys. It was so awful. I could have slept in line. I was so like ready to just, and then my heart was pounding, you know, my heart is pounding constantly. I'm totally feeling like, you know, I'm just exhausted. And so I'm like, oh my gosh. So we were running all over the park, and we went to both parks and stuff. We had a great time though, so it was so worth it, and I'm so glad that I was able just to, you know, to do it and not to worry about anything. And so that was cool. But yeah, we had a blast. We didn't take my mom. My mom is kind of gimpy right now, and my mom always gets sick when she goes and does things, and that's not fun for my dad, and so we didn't take her. But you know, that's okay. She just went to Universal for her birthday, so we're good. But yeah. But oh boy, you guys, we slept. I have been sleeping nonstop since we got back, and whew, it has been a journey. So I just woke up now, and I was like, you know, I gotta film because I really need to get these. I need to do stuff, and it's all it is, you guys, is I force myself to do so much stuff. I have to force myself because my body is just like, no, go lay down. Go lay down, you're fine. You know, it's okay to lay down, but it's not okay. So I'm missing a little sentiment, and I'm not sure where it's at, but it's okay. I don't know where it's at. It's okay. But anyways, that is, I don't know why everything's so blown out right now, but it's not something I can deal with right now. Alright guys, so that is it. I love this layout so much. It's so vibrant, so pretty. Yeah, I can't get enough of it. And I have 2 more layouts done. I just need or 3. I have 3. Ooh, I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I have 3 more done, and I'm trying to get another one. Well, I got 2 done, and I'm trying to get the 3rd done. There we go. And it's a trial. But anyway, thank you, Shanda, and thank you, Barbara, for leaving me comments. I appreciate it. If you guys have any tips or tricks for me as far as food-wise and organic, let me know, because I need help. Alright, guys. Take care. Love you all. We'll see y'all later. Bye.